Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Why didn't cartoons? Mornings at the Cabin. Good morning. It's Wheeler with you on your Tuesday morning. Every time in a cartoon, someone would, it was usually Donald Duck. Now, I grew up watching Donald Duck cartoons, which is why I have such a terrible temper, because cartoons influence children in ways we can't understand. I'm also a duck. But every time he would wake up, he would stretch, he'd go, and he'd smack his lips. It's something I've never seen another human being really do, but I do it. Because I always would watch cartoons, and they'd always do that. And for some reason, I picked up this affectation that I would smack my lips or like whenever I woke up. And every person I've ever been with in an intimate situation is like, why do you do that? And I said, I don't know. I think it's because I think I'm Donald Duck. It's one of the many little things that go wrong with my brain, especially in the morning. Did you know that when you wake up in the morning, you are like, if you're startled awake, or if you wake up, apparently you're legit insane for like 3 seconds. That's probably not true. It's something that I heard. It's probably an urban legend. It's probably not true, because the way it was framed was that someone was like, did you know that you're legally insane for the first 3 seconds after you wake up? That means if you killed somebody in the first 3 seconds after you woke up, you wouldn't be found liable for it, because you wouldn't be found guilty for it, because you would be technically insane. I don't know that that's true. If a lawyer could call me and we could figure that out together, that would be great. Mornings at the Cabin. We're starting off a little weird, but that's fine.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
For the second time this year, someone in the NWT has won $1 million. I know we're a little late to the party on this story because it did happen on Friday. We didn't talk about it yesterday because
it's probably spent already.
It's probably already
for
gone.
A whole weekend.
Yeah,
it's only $1 million. Well,
I mean, I don't. You know what? I don't. You know, that's very interesting. I don't know how that works. You have 6 months. Or something like that to make it 6 months or 6 weeks to make it public.
Right. Yeah.
You've got a year to claim it or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it a year?
It might be more than that, actually.
We should have done our research. Yeah, I think it might be more than that. But you have like the person can remain anonymous for 6 weeks or 6 months or something like that. But I don't know how quickly it turns around. Because even for the $1 million, you could take the annuity, I imagine, or you could take the cash. And I wonder what the cash is for $1 million, because it's usually like a percentage of it.
Right.
Right? So it's probably like $750,000 or whatever.
I wonder if that $1 billion winner in the States has collected their $500 million yet.
I wonder what they're going to do with that. Like, going to take the annuity for 29 years?
Buy the Arizona Coyotes or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah. For $1 billion?
500 mil?
500 mil buy that?
You could probably get it.
Ugh, what a terrible investment.
Bad investment. No doubt about that.
I got to see my money grow. Ooh, not in the
you want to
desert.
spend frivolously? Yeah. Buy a Southern California or a Southern States hockey team.
Mm-hmm. Well done. So, yeah. So this is the second time this year that someone's won $1 million. That's pretty huge. Because usually these bigger prizes kind of give the NWT a miss because we have such a small population. So you tend to see the bigger prizes, especially in major centers. Like this week, $60 million was found or bought in Edmonton. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you would do. I mean, we've talked about what you would do with like $1 million is great. Don't get me wrong. Winning $1 million would be great. You'd pay off your debts and then buy a house. Buy a house in Old Town for $850,000.
Making vast assumptions about my debts, Jesse.
Yeah, no, any debts really. And then buy a house in Latham Island that's now worth $850,000. And when it was made, it was 10, whatever. Like 30 years ago, it was $10,000 when everybody bought it. But what do you do? I don't know how long it takes to get the money, but someone out there is pretty happy, right?
Yeah. Well, it's nice to know you have $1 million coming,
right? Yeah, just sitting there. But I mean, that'd be the worst. That'd be the worst wait. Like, anticipation is one of the best things about pretty much anything. And you're excited about the anticipation often outweighs the moment. So what's the anticipation for this? I'd just be sitting there and be like, well, I'm not going to work.
Well, in this case, if you've already gone public with it, you might be like, yeah, you know what? I can wait because the longer it takes, the longer I can just tell people, no, I can't buy you a new car yet. I haven't got my $1 million.
Not yet.
And then once it arrives, you just mysteriously disappear.
Yeah.
And you're in the Bahamas.
Would you let people know that you won?
Well, you have to
make it
eventually.
public,
Yeah,
but
you have
would
to
let
make it
people
public.
know in the interim.
I would let people find out their own way.
Oh yeah, Scott, you haven't been to work in 6 months, and you've gained 150 pounds. What is going on?
It's just life.
It's not feeling good, man.
It's not feeling up to it.
Scott, you look terrible.
I'll get better.
Don't worry, I'm going to get this all stapled up. It's going to be fine. But I mean, if you like $1 million is one thing, but if you won like $60 million, I think if you take the cash on that, it's like $39 million right up front.
Right.
And because it's Canada, you don't have to pay taxes on it, which is insane. So $39 million. Yeah, I think I would just keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Try to keep it
as long as you can
under wraps as much as I could in the moment.
Right.
And then just like plan a party. It's like, hey, why are you having a party? Oh, I don't know, just throw a party. Just rent out the entire multiplex. We'll turn it into a paintball arena or something. I don't know. Just have some huge do.
Yeah. You maybe tell your mom, and you're like, Mom, if you tell anyone.
Oh, I'm not telling my mother.
You're out.
I'm not telling my mother. I don't tell my mother anything. No, I would absolutely tell my mom. And I just, keep it a secret for as long as you possibly could. And then just have a party. Just be like, I'd like to just thank everyone for being here. If you'll all just let everyone know that they got to bring like a change of clothes. And like, just so you know, we're just going to go to Vegas tonight. Everyone's coming. And
I wouldn't do that.
I'll let you guys know what's going on later.
No,
You wouldn't do that?
No.
You would take everyone to Vegas?
No.
Take like $100,000 and just
Vegas
spend
is
it with your friends?
they can go themselves.
Okay,
Vegas
fine,
is a
not
cheap
Vegas.
trip.
We'll go to Edmonton. We'll go to the mall.
Go to the mall.
Congratulations to that $1 million winner. Can I borrow $10?
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
We were just talking about the old Ecology North building and how it's torn down. It looks like nothing's like ever been there ever.
That's a clean job.
Very clean.
Like, yeah, it looks like there was never a building there to begin with.
And the old RCMP building, which was a daycare for years and years, it's got to be next. It's been boarded up and fenced off for a long time now. Some people out there are trying to save it, as a piece of history of the city.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care. I could, you know what? I could do without that.
I guess it's one of the oldest buildings in downtown.
It is.
Is it the oldest?
I don't know if it may be the oldest. I mean, RCMP stations were usually one of the first things ever set up in a new city, so it might be the oldest.
Yeah.
This is where we need Ryan Silke, because he knows the history of the city.
Yeah,
and I do too. And
I have heard that it's among the oldest, if not.
It is among the oldest, if not the oldest. And I mean, it's just. I memean, maybe I don't have an appreciation for the history of RCMP buildings as other people, but some people are like, well, there's a lot of history there. It's like, yeah, probably not a lot of great history. You know what I mean? Just like with the interactions between RCMP and Indigenous folks over the years, it's not been always pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, so I can't speak to it. But I mean, at the same time, it's just like, it's not going to be a heritage building. It's just an old RCMP building. That's all it is.
I mean, what makes that status heritage building? Because I have heard it called a heritage building.
Well,
I don't know if there's something that makes that official or not.
Well, it's definitely not officially a heritage building.
No.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be boarded up and being ready to be torn down. But I mean, what makes something a heritage building? There's probably a storied history. There's probably some sort of guidelines. I'm going to look it up right now as we're talking.
It's interesting when you think about that sort of thing, and old buildings in a obviously relatively new city still, like Yellowknife, and you think, there's so much history there. It's an old building, heritage building.
Yeah,
it's like it's less than 100 years.
Yeah,
old.
Right. It's like the history in North America is just so young.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you got there's an old RCMP building, like not RCMP, but an old police building in Spain. It's like 800 years old.
Yeah,
and like the ones here like less than 100 years old. I mean that's our history. But I mean when you think about the peoples that have been here for thousands of years, and we're like talking about preserving like a 90-year-old RCMP building, it doesn't really ring true to me. And maybe I'm a piece of garbage. I don't know. But
the jury's still out.
Jury's still out on me being a piece of garbage. Some people have already made up their minds. I know there are people going, yeah, that guy's a piece of garbage right now.
Saying that for years.
Saying it for years. I've been saying it for years. People don't listen. Heritage conservation in Canada deals with actions and processes that are aimed at safeguarding the character of defining elements, blah, blah, blah. Cultural resources. So basically, like, it's the federal government, provincial government, and municipal governments all kind of get together and kind of decide. And the Heritage Canada Foundation is the leading advocate for heritage buildings and landscapes. I think basically preservation, rehabilitation, restoration. So if something's determined to have some sort of social, political, or historical value,
right,
the definitions can be pretty broad.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could certainly make the argument for an RCMP building.
I suppose.
One of that age.
I guess.
Well, I mean, being one of the oldest, if not the oldest, in a downtown core in a capital city, seems like it checks a few boxes
I suppose. But we also had a really old building that burnt down over the summer, and like
Mother Nature doesn't care about our heritage.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Mother Nature that burnt down that building. Yeah. Mother Nature working through a human being. But I mean, that was a super old building, and like that was just there.
Yeah.
And I mean, that wasn't meant to be a heritage building. It was just there. Whoever owned the plot of land is just like, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, and that was literally all that was happening.
And that was one of the biggest. That was one of the bigger platforms of part of the platforms for Dane Mason when he was running. Is that like you're going to tax those things? You can't just leave it there.
Yeah,
and like leave it into disrepair.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. So I don't know. I don't know. Kind of where I'd like to learn more about the history of the building, and at the same time, I feel like if I learn the history of the building, that's really cool.
Yeah,
tear it down.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast, where we delete all the bad bits and make them sound at least semi-coherent.
Dating is tough. It really is, and I imagine dating in this city is very, very tough. I'm lucky enough to not having to have done it. You did it, and you lucked out pretty well.
Kind of,
yeah, kind of. You didn't really date. You just kind of like started seeing somebody, and it turned out to be the love of your life.
Yeah.
What a shock! You're so lucky.
Yeah, I am. That's about all I want.
There it is. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to get myself into trouble. But dating obviously can be tough, but. Is it less tough when you date a ghost?
Probably. Yeah.
Because you can just make one up.
Well, that's true.
There's ghosts everywhere. I'm going to start dating one. And this is exactly what happened to what is happening with an English woman. Her name is Amethyst Realm. Take that as you will. She hit the headlines a little while back when she revealed that she had cheated on her fiancé by having sex with a ghost. And then went on to say that she had sex with 15 ghost lovers. But... happy day.
Right.
She's revealed that she's found her true love. She's planning on marrying a poltergeist. So, no.
Now, a poltergeist.
Now, I don't, I believe in the equal rights for everybody, but this is just, no, you can't marry a ghost.
Well,
no ghost marriage.
I mean, like we just said, maybe we should all think about this. Right? I don't know.
I mean,
you could go as far as your imagination can take you, really.
I do. It's not very far.
So, poltergeist, for those who maybe aren't familiar with the term, it's German for noisy ghost, or noisy spirit.
Yeah, very noisy.
It's a type of ghost or spirit that is responsible for physical disturbances, such as loud noises and objects being moved or destroyed. They are purportedly...
So what you're saying is that you can have sex with a poltergeist.
Yes.
Because it's loud and it moves and
makes loud noises. It destroys things.
I got destroyed last night by a poltergeist.
I
can't even walk.
They are purportedly capable, and this is all from Wikipedia, they are purportedly capable of pinching, biting, hitting, and tripping people. Most accounts of poltergeists describe the movement or levitation of objects such as furniture and cutlery, or noises such as knocking on doors.
There you go.
Yes.
Wikipedia backs this up. You can have physical love with the poltergeist.
I don't know if Wikipedia is necessarily backing that up.
She's hoping to have a baby with her new partner. Says her friends and family are happy she found a true love. And I imagine it's more like, you know what, I'm just happy she's happy.
Yeah.
I don't really want to...
I'm just happy she's found someone.
I don't really want to interrupt that.
No.
She said that her ghostly partner asked her to marry him while they were on a trip to Wookey Hole. I don't know where that is. Celebrating their 9-month anniversary. Oh, they were in Australia. Wookey Hole. That makes sense. The couple met in Australia and flew back to England together, having sex on the plane on the way home.
Do you know how he asked her to marry him?
It doesn't say. How?
Threw a box of fine china against the wall.
Oh my God.
Smashed.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this is amazing.
Or
this is how I always imagined it happening.
I always thought it would be a bull, but here we are. Or he just scratched really hard, marry me into her arm. She's like, ow. But that's really sweet.
Just scratched a ring around her.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, it's Bert.
What's her name again?
Her name is Amethyst Realm. She told a local paper that there was no going down on one knee. He doesn't have knees. But for the first time, I heard him speak. I could actually hear his voice, and it was beautiful, deep, sexy, and real.
Wow.
I know what she's talking about.
You think that's her real name?
I don't think so. I don't. Well, you never know. Amethyst Realm. She looks like she's in the.
I mean, it's a real name now, obviously.
Real name now.
But can't imagine a baby being born. I will call her Amethyst.
Well, Amethyst is a nice name.
Amethyst Realm.
Call her Amy.
Of the Realm family.
Yeah, the Realms, the Boston Realms. I won't go into more details. Just saying that she has a complete love life with this poltergeist.
Yeah.
Best of luck to them on this Halloween Eve.
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Remember, if there's not someone in the physical realm for you, there might be someone on the astral plane.
Never give up hope.
Yeah, that's right. Wouldn't it suck to get to the astral plane and have everybody just kind of be like, yeah, you know what? I'm just not looking for anything. And then go on to like those rattling chains. I got to get back to work.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Anyway, pumpkins.
Oh, great. Pumpkins. Yeah, pumpkins. Right. Pumpkins. So apparently the city's out of pumpkins, but we've had a listener write in and then let us know that they made the best of it.
Yeah, a little pineapple carving.
Yeah. Cheryl McKay wrote us to let us know that the pumpkins were sold out across Yellowknife. This was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I know
Which
it's
happened really fast.
Right? I know, because like I was in Co-op last week and there was a box of just a huge box of them.
Yeah.
And there were some still left over, but they're gone.
We all last minute descended upon the grocery stores, and they were gone.
So the pumpkin supply being handled by the GNWT Liquor Commission as well. They are out, once again, out of cannabis and pumpkins. But they made the best of it, picked up a pineapple, and there's this cute, adorable little picture that we'll share.
Yeah.
We'll share it up if we have Cheryl's permission to do that, of what I'm assuming is her daughter.
You know, this pumpkin legalization has just been a mess so far.
It's been a mess. God, I can't get my pumpkins when I want them. I can't get enough pumpkins.
Back when they were illegal, there were just pumpkins everywhere.
Right? Yeah, I could get a pumpkin right now. I could call and get some guy to bring me a pumpkin right now.
Now nothing. Don't delete your pumpkin dealer's number.
That's
just
right.
Yet.
Just yet. And dealers, you pumpkin dealers out there, you don't have to get real jobs just yet. But it's adorable. They carved a little pineapple lantern. Now I've seen this. I've seen other people do this as well. Like they run out of pumpkins, so they will use something else.
Right.
Yeah. Have you seen those old pictures of people that they used to like carve turnips? And they look terrifying.
Yeah, that would be creepy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the pineapple looks adorable.
The pineapple's actually, and I responded to Cheryl saying this. The pineapple is actually arguably creepier than a pumpkin carving.
Absolutely.
Because you got the pineapple, whatever you call it, the stalk.
The stalk
Looks like the hair, and it kind of looks like a shrunken head.
It does look like a shrunken head.
Yeah,
it looks like the shrunken head from Beetlejuice.
And plus,
shrunken head guy.
I mean, this is up for debate, but I don't think there's really a debate there. When you're carving out the insides, that's beautiful. Delicious.
Well, I mean, you can do that with pumpkins too.
I mean, you can.
You can dry the seeds and salt them.
Yeah,
they're good.
And pumpkins are fine, but
pumpkin guts into pumpkin pie.
But pineapple's way more delicious than pumpkin. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Let's be real here.
Let's be real.
Yeah,
it helps with a lot of things.
Yeah. What does it help with?
I'll tell you after. So that's an adorable picture. We will share that up. So if you are running around today looking for pumpkins, there are none. So find yourself a squash, a zucchini. Let's see if someone comes up with something creative.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Came out like last night that the Calgary City Council is going to be asked to kill the 2026 Calgary Olympic bid. They seem to be the front runner.
Who's asking?
The city. Or people. Because they were going to be asked to front like $1.2 billion or something like that. The city was going to ask to be pony up $1.2 billion, which is a steal because in Vancouver in 2010, the taxpayer bill at the end of that was $3.5 billion.
Wow.
That's right. That'll never be paid off.
No.
So, yeah, that's I mean, that's, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about the Olympics at this point? I mean, they seem to be more of a boondoggle than anything. It's great for the athletes, but I mean, it seems to be a money loser every time.
Yeah, it is really tough, and especially with a city that it has just been for the last couple of years going through this battle with their local pro hockey team, and whether or not the taxpayers should have any obligation to help chip in to build a new rink there. That's been going on, and then now you pile the Olympics onto that, and it's like, well, if we can't even agree on a hockey rink, for a team that brings in money for this city, and there's some sustained economic stuff going on there. How do you then justify spending what was it, $1.2 billion?
Something like that. But the city was going to have to put that up.
Yeah,
and then they'd fundraise the rest or whatever.
Right.
I mean, they've got infrastructure in place, right? They've got some of the best facilities right on the edge of Calgary there, and then you would probably go to Whistler or whatever, not Whistler, sorry, out to the Banff Way there for a bunch of the skiing events and things like that. I mean, it just seems like a huge investment at a time when a huge investment's probably not on everybody's mind, but the decision would have to be made 7 years in advance, so it would have to be made by next year.
Right.
So they have to decide right now whether or not they want to put their name forward for a bit. I mean, they've put their name forward, but now do you want to invest all that money? And I mean, the IOC has took a lot of heat for taking a lot of money for a very long time. Basically in bribes, but there's still that happening there. You don't it's not direct bribes, but you still got to bring people in. You still got to sell them on the city and all that stuff. You got to spend a lot of money to do that. And like you said, they're not bringing up. They don't want to do the arena for much, and I don't believe they should. When the team and the arena is owned by billionaires, then why don't the billionaires build the new arena?
Right.
Why should the city have to pay for any of that?
Yeah,
and then some people still are saying why are we spending money on this and that, when we should be trying to attract oil and gas firms back to Calgary and Alberta. And it's like, I never understood the subsidies that a government or taxpayers should have to pay for businesses to come in and make billions of dollars. That doesn't make any sense either.
I would think that to make a successful bid, they would need a new rink anyway.
They would.
Because the Saddle Dome
They would need a new rink.
Yeah.
They would need a new rink. They would need they would need some new stuff. But I mean, they wouldn't need a bobsled course. They wouldn't need ski jumps. There you go. They still have those. They still got really, really good facilities up there.
Yeah.
Some of the best facilities in the world.
Now, I don't know if this makes real sense or if it has been talked about at all, but what about a shared bid between Edmonton and Calgary?
No.
Okay. I mean, that's probably the exact response that Calgary would have.
Exactly.
No, we're not sharing with Edmonton. No.
But I mean, that's probably going to become more of the reality as these games move forward. There's only going to be so many places that can actually afford to have these games. Like you see Sochi in 2014, they spent $50 billion on those stupid games.
Exactly.
And in a small resort town with piles of dead dogs, they spent $50 billion bringing the Olympics to it.
Yeah.
And Vancouver was a fairly successful Olympics and still lost money.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It seems.
But the golden goal, Jess.
The golden goal
was all worth it.
Once in a lifetime. But it just doesn't seem worth it for a lot of cities to do it, especially a city of kind of moderate size like Calgary.
Yeah.
Calgary's only got 1 million people.
Right.
The next Olympics coming is in Tokyo that has 35 million people. I'm looking forward to the Tokyo Olympics. I'm going to see what Japan has in store. They've been preparing for the Olympics for 7 years.
Yeah.
They are they push forward technology more than anybody, the Japanese, and we're going to see holographic events or something like that.
It's going to be spectacular.
Crazy, nutso stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But I'm interested to see what happens with Calgary. But it looks like the bid is dead.
Yeah. It seems like an opportunity there, though, for Alberta in general. If there is a thought to share the Olympics between Edmonton and Calgary, it really seems like that is the most realistic possible. I mean, it's not like they're separated by an insurmountable distance that you can't make the logistics around it work. But yeah, I mean, it's Edmonton and Calgary, so I can't see them working together.
The 2026 Olympics in Calgary, Edmonton, and Saskatoon. Join us, won't you?
Thanks for listening. Mornings at the Cabin is back from 7 till 9 every weekday on Cabin Radio.